Namaste and a very good evening to the very special and esteemed audience. In the part of introduction, one thing is still missing. Even though Pooja ji and Ritu ji have elaborately shared my profile, I am so happy to be glad amongst two professional fraternity members. Besides being CS, I am also an LLB. So, पूजा जी ने ये बात मिस करी और रितु जी ने इस बात को ऐड किया कि आई एम अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी. आई वुड ऑल्सो लाइक टू मेंशन दैट आई एम एन LLB ऑल्सो एंड आई एम परसुइंग LLM आफ्टर कमिंग टू सर्विस. सो LLM का पार्ट 1 मेरा हो गया. होपफुली आई शुड बी कंप्लीटिंग इट फुल्ली इन दिस ईयर. So thank you so much for inviting me over here. As Ritu ji and Pooja ji has already shared my profile. I am the officer of 2008 batch, and I have had the privilege of belonging to very esteemed professions in the country, the company secretary and the advocates, the lawyers, the judges. So I have the opportunity of observing both of these fraternity very closely, and more so I very proudly mention that having acquired these academic qualifications, these professional qualifications, and also work experience. I worked for around 3 years before I joined civil services. Of course, that was on a part-time basis, but that knowledge and experience has been helping me all across my journey as a civil servant. In various profiles, when we are representing government, we are defending cases for the department in which we are posted. And since I have at least the basic knowledge and information about the very important acts and laws, legislatures of the government, and more so because I have also had the opportunity of working and having a little bit professional experience, so that has helped me a lot. So I really feel very proud and honored whenever I am invited to any of such occasions wherein I feel that yes, I am also a part of all of you. So thank you so much for inviting me over here. And I would actually like to congratulate the entire team of Pink and Blue for taking this initiative of having deliberations, discussions, trainings on a topic which we all feel is still missing in our country. We have been definitely discussing about violence against women, sexual violence against women, about domestic violence, crime against women. But to what extent are we discussing amongst us about prevention of sexual harassment at workplace? The very fact that the act was enacted in 2013. It is not even a decade that the act has been passed by the legislature. So that very thing indicates that yes, in our country, we have not taken it probably very seriously, or we have been missing it to give that importance. And why is it so that it took us so many years? So we have to understand the reason. One of the reasons which me as part of administration, I can say that the percentage of women in workforce in our country, if I talk in government, it may not be more than I think 15%. More so if I talk about percentage of women in bureaucracy, it would be not more than 10%, 10 to 12% in the civil services. If I talk about police service, it is further less, 7 to 8%. If I talk about other services like the railway, audit and accounts, it might be slightly better. But yes, it is nowhere exceeding 20%. And if we take these percentages in the private sector, the people who are working in MNCs, the corporate, percentage is better. Even though I am not updated about the recent statistics and figures, but I believe that the percentages, it might be still better in the MNCs and the private sector. And more so, it would be better if we compare it with the rural area. In rural area, women have been traditionally working at forefront, whether we talk about the rural livelihood missions, whether we talk about women working in Manrega and so many schemes which are being enacted by the government. So why I'm mentioning this fact is that as we are seeing the percentage of women, they are occupying the positions of leadership. They are working at forefront. So we all need to understand that what is sexual harassment at workplace, why is it required, and what is it we need to do. So there are basically 3 components I would mention. Firstly is the prevention. It should not happen. The cases should not be there. Then how do we prohibit? Once we see that in an organization, for example, one case is reported, there is no repetition or it is minimized, then the prohibition comes into force. And also, if there are such cases, then we have to ensure that the redressal is done effectively, and redressal is so effective and so exemplary that no other such employee in the organization dares to do such kind of an offense. So, for prevention, for prohibition and for redressal, I think first and foremost very important thing is that we need to educate, we need to have more awareness, we need to have more discussions. Many a times, like the POSH Act, which was enacted in 2013, it talks about the constitution of internal complaints committee mechanism, ICC. But have we checked that all such organizations which are mandated to have such committees, whether they have formed those committees? क्या ऐसे mechanism उस संस्था में, उस organization में जहाँ 10 से ज़्यादा लोग काम कर रहे हैं, क्या वो कमेटी फॉर्म की गई है? और अगर वो कमेटी फॉर्म की गई है तो कितने लोगों को उसके बारे में पता है? I would share one example. When I was DMN collector in Gomti district way back in 2014, this act was very recently enacted. 2013 में ये act enact हुआ और मैं वहाँ उस वक्त त्रिपुरा में मेरी posting थी. तो मेरे joining से पहले some body was already constituted क्योंकि the mandate had come and government was also very, Ministry of Women and Child and Development की तरफ से I think त्रिपुरा सरकार में वो notification सब deputy commissioners को दिया गया था कि आपके विभाग में constitute करना है. तो जब मैंने किया तो ऑलरेडी कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड था. बट अ लेडी हु वाज आई थिंक ऑफ द रैंक ऑफ अ क्लर्क, शी रिपोर्टेड सम कंप्लेंट अंडर दैट एक्ट, एंड फ्रैंकली नोबडी इन द ऑफिस वाज अवेयर ऑफ कि इसका करना क्या है. इवन दो एक कमेटी बनाई गई थी कि कोई कंप्लेंट आएगा तो उसमें इंक्वायर करेंगे, बट नोबडी वाज एक्चुअली श्योर कि हाउ टू प्रोसीड. सो दैट डीलिंग विद दैट केस एज अ डेप्टी कमिश्नर मेड मी रीड द एक्ट. आई ऑल्सो टुक एडवाइस फ्रॉम द DA. आई ऑल्सो sought guidance from the officers who was posted in the headquarter. And then because there were so many things which were new even to us. So I am sharing this because इस एक्ट की इफ़ेक्टिव इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है कि हम इसके बारे में बात करें, और जो बात करें उसमें दोनों जेंडर्स को इन्वॉल्व करके करें. आई एम सो हैप्पी टू सी टुडे द रिप्रेजेंटेशन. जनरली व्हाट वी आर सीइंग इसकी कोई विमेन एम्पावरमेंट या जेंडर पैरिटी को लेके कोई टॉपिक्स डिस्कस होते हैं, जनरली फीमेल्स आर ओनली अटेंडिंग, बट आई एम सो हैप्पी टू सी द मेल रिप्रेजेंटेशन. द पास्ट प्रेजिडेंट ऑफ ICSI यहाँ पे इस प्रोग्राम में उपस्थित हैं. सो this is the kind of team building, this is the kind of collaborative partnership which is required to take any such initiative take forward. And I think the organization Pink and Blue and all such organizations who are working in this field, they need round of applause for taking such initiatives, for inviting people from across the country. I am told that this is their 3rd edition of such an annual event. They have already done 2 such big events, and they are doing such seminars and talks since past, I think, 2 years or so. So a big round of applause for them. And as part of administration, I can only, I would like to end because there is a panel discussion also lined up and a big program lined up. I would not like to speak further. I would only like to request 2-3 things. We as women have to have confidence in ourselves. So सबसे important क्या है कि आपके साथ अगर कुछ इंसिडेंट हुआ भी है तो आज भी हमारे अंदर एक झिझक होती है, एक हेजिटेशन होती है. वी मे नॉट लाइक टू रिपोर्ट. So if you are not reporting, unfortunately, you are also giving that opportunity to the person who has done that he may repeat it with some other person in the organization or even outside. So it is very important to speak up, to report. अगर आप लिखित में नहीं भी इनिशियली देना चाहते हैं तो एटलीस्ट अपने कंपनी में, आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जो भी कंसर्न आपके एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव हेड है या वो वट एवर इज़ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर, वहाँ पे एटलीस्ट आपको डिस्कस ज़रूर करना चाहिए. एंड it is not about shaming or naming, it is about addressing the issue. So firstly and foremostly, it is very important that we all should have confidence and belief in ourselves, and we need to speak about it, we need to report it. And it is also important on the part of organization to ensure that the dignity of the women, the dignity of the lady who is reporting, या जिन्होंने वो मुद्दा उठाया है, जब वो लेके आई हैं, तो उनका भी प्रोटेक्शन किया जाए. She should not be harassed in the entire process of, say, appearing before the internal complaint committee or whatever mechanism is there in the organization. So it needs to work both ways. Then only we will ensure the POSH Act is able to deliver justice, or we are able to achieve the ends. And I think we all who are in this auspicious gathering, we all are much aware, much educated. You all are professionals working in good companies, organizations. Some may be practicing also. So इस issue को और आगे लेके जाना है. Our learning, our experiences should not stop. We all need to collaborate, we all need to spread information and share whatever is the positive stories amongst us. So with this I would like to end, and I would like to congratulate the team and thank you so much for inviting me over here. I really feel very happy, proud and honored to see the profession of company secretaries has taken a lead in our country, and of course all the fraternity, lawyers, advocates. I am very happy to be amongst all of you. My best wishes to the entire team. Thank you so much.